I think that the first time that I saw Irish dance was on TV, and I remember watching this show, and it was like an animated kids show, and then it had real kids doing something in like a little like segment break, and so they were Irish dancing, and I remember wanting to do that because it looked really fun, and I wanted to try a dance that was new and different because I had been doing a little bit of ballet, but I didn't really love it, and I just wanted to try something else. And I live next to a town called Dublin, so my mom looked for Irish dancing, and that was pretty easy to find there. I think my mom called the next day, and I was probably there within like 2 weeks. And then I went to a class, and it was mostly just to watch and see if I wanted to do it. And the dance teacher was like this little old Irish lady, and she taught me my first, like, it's called a side step. And so it's like basically the very beginner step that you learn first. And I remember learning that, and then the next day at school I taught all of my friends because I was so excited to show them. As I got more into it, I had to learn a lot of dances first. There's like 4 main dances that you learn with soft shoe, and there's soft shoe and hard shoe. And so before I started competing, I had to learn the 4 main soft shoe dances at like a very beginner level. And then I started competing around just like San Francisco and the Bay Area. I didn't ever really travel that far, but I did go to probably like 4 competitions a year. Competition days were really long. It's usually like you get up really early and wake up in curlers from a not great night of sleep, and then you have to go really early because sometimes the competitions run early and you don't want to be late for your dance, and most of the time they run like 2 hours late. So you have to just sit around a lot. There's a lot that goes into like the image though, and it's mostly about the dresses that you wear, and then the like socks and everything have to be like these poodle socks that are like, you have to use it's like sock glue, and so you rub it around your calves, like in a circle around your calf, to like make the socks stay up where it's supposed to stay. And then there are a lot of people that wear wigs or buns or like wigs and tiaras in their hair because the curls, the judges really like curls because they bounce more when you're jumping up and down and dancing. And so most of the girls you would see had like these huge wigs, and there would always be wig stands at the competitions where people were trying to like match your hair color and sell you a new wig. I think my favorite part was I had lacrosse, that was a team sport, and then Irish dancing is mostly just individual. And so I liked having this one thing where it was just me. And I love being on a team, but it's also really nice to have something that like you only rely on yourself and you put in as much as you want to put in, and you see the direct effects of that. So I really liked having like both the team sport and then also the one thing just by myself. I remember when I was little, it was actually a problem because I was too graceful on the field and like not competitive enough, and I would kind of like run, but I was on my toes more than I should have been, and so at first it was a little bit of a problem, but I kind of got out of that. And I feel like I have a lot of really good agility now because I was so used to being on my toes and like moving really quickly. I stopped Irish dancing because I was getting more serious with lacrosse, especially with like doing it in high school and then also playing year round. I didn't have a ton of time to put into it, and also COVID happened, and so it just didn't really make sense to be continuing online classes, and so that's kind of when my natural break happened. But I do miss it. It was a lot of fun.